In this video, I'm going to be talking about 14 life-changing lessons that I learned while I was in the military. So get your notepad. It's going to be a good one. Let's get it. What's going on, guys? In this video, I want to share and extrapolate a lot of lessons that I learned while I was in the military. I was in the Air Force, and I was in the Air Force for 5 years, and I was stationed in Germany, and I was a cop, right? So I was security forces. I learned so much. I got the chance to live abroad for 4.5 years, and that was amazing. And I got a chance to just see the world from a different perspective. And I was also deployed at war and things like that. So I have a lot of different lessons that I learned that I still use to this day, right? So we're gonna get into it. The first lesson that was a game changer that I still use is discipline equals freedom. Discipline equals freedom. It doesn't matter what category of your life. If you have discipline, you will have freedom. If you have no discipline, you will not have freedom. Let's think about a diet. Let's think about diet and fitness. If I like donuts, right? If I like donuts and sweets, if I eat it every day, it's going to fuck my body up. But if I don't eat it because I have discipline, and then once a month or once every couple months I have a couple donuts, it's not gonna affect my body because I had the discipline, and now I have the freedom to indulge when I want to. Let's think about finances. Same thing. If I have a budget and I'm not tight with my money, but I'm disciplined with my money, when it's time to splurge, I have the money and I have the freedom to be able to do that. So I use that today in my life every single day. Discipline equals freedom, and don't ever let anybody make you think any otherwise. An undisciplined person is chaotic, and they're not free, and they are a slave to the things that they're not disciplined to, right? So the second one, who you're with when times are hard is all that matters. Who you're with when times are hard is all that matters. I've been in a lot of shitty situations, a lot of like I've been in the trenches and a lot of different experiences in the fields, deployed. And there's been times where I was with people that I didn't like, and it was a horrible time. And then there's been other times where I was in horrible situations with people that I really fucked with, and we bonded. And that was an amazing experience. And so in my life, I'm like, I only want to be around good people. I only want to be around good energy, because life is going to test you. Life will test you no matter what. I don't care how positive you are. I don't care how good of a background you come from. At some point in time, life will test you. And when you get tested, the people that you're around is going to dictate what your experience is. So keep that in mind. Don't just be hanging around whoever. Don't be hanging around ain't shit people. Don't be hanging around people that don't really care about you. Don't hang around people that aren't positive. Don't hang around people that don't have solutions or aren't looking for solutions. Don't hang around people that don't have anything to value to add to the situation. Because if you hang around those people, you're never going to be happy with your experiences, right? Great people can turn a horrible experience into a great experience just because of the people that you're around. So that was a game changer for me when I was able to experience that. The next one, broaden your horizons. I remember when I was in basic training, we had to write down our dream sheet, and it's like, where do you want to get stationed at? I put Japan, England, and Germany. I didn't care. I wanted to see the world. And there was a lot of other people that I was in basic training with, and they was from like the South, like Arkansas and Alabama. They was real closed-minded, and they just wanted to stay in the States. So they would put the States. And then when I got my assignment, I was going to Germany. I was hyped. I was excited because I was like, I'm going to see the world. And then I was able to I lived in a condo out there. I lived in a house in the villages out there. So I got to really experience that culture, and that changed how I viewed the world. It changed how I interact with people. It changes what I understand about the world, right? And so you got to broaden your horizons. If you live in the city where you from and you ain't never been out, you got to get out. You have to get out, because when you broaden your horizons, you just become a better person. You get to see different. You're not so closed-minded. You get to become expansive. So broaden your horizons. Working out, don't just lift weights for 10 years. Go do other types of workouts, because that's going to change your body, right? The same habits over time, they can be positive, but at the same time, you want to do different things to broaden your horizons and broaden your understanding of everything, right? So make sure you broaden your horizons. The next lesson was respect can only be earned. Now, I learned this because, leadership is a big thing in the military. And there are leaders that have came in from other bases and they weren't a good leader and they weren't respected. So people below will respect the title because they have to, but they won't respect the person because of how they are, however they are. But if you lead with respect and you're a good person and you have certain characteristics, you're going to be respected on a personal level. And then you're going to be able to influence people on a much more powerful level. So you got to understand that respect is earned. You can't just walk into a place just because you got a title and get the respect. You may get the respect out of fear because people may not want to get disciplined, or you may get the respect because people want to kiss your ass because they want to promote. But the real respect that you really want, that's going to come from how you carry yourself, how you move, and how you treat people. So understand that. Lead with respect in this world, right? Get the ego out of here. The ego is created to only protect yourself. And sometimes that's good. But you got to know when to use your ego. You got to know when to turn it on, when to turn it off, when to elevate it, when to lower it a little bit. So always know that respect is earned. Another one is be well-rounded, right? Be well-rounded. So when I say be well-rounded, what I mean is we have something called an EPR, and it's basically an annual performance report. And so this affects how you get promoted. It's like a score system and stuff. It's real intricate, but it was about, your fitness test. Every year you would get tested on your fitness. Education. Are you pursuing further education? Your job knowledge. Do you know your job? Are you a dirt bag? That's what we would call it. Are you a dirt bag? Do you volunteer? Are you volunteering in the community? So it's like, if you only have one of these things, if you're only going to school, but you're not doing anything else, you sloppy, you look horrible in your uniform, but you're only going to school, you're not going to promote or progress in the organization as fast as possible. But if you focusing on all the different categories of your life and you keep growing, what's going to happen is you're going to be more marketable when it comes down to progressing and promoting. So it's like, be well-rounded. Don't just be in shape, but be dumb in your head, right? Don't just look good, but you're stupid, right? Don't just only be focused on the money, but you don't care about anything else, right? Be well-rounded. Be open to new concepts, because that stuff is going to change your life and it's going to put you in a better position in the future, right? Don't just focus on the now. Focus on where you're going and who you're becoming. The next lesson that I learned is nothing is more important than giving your dreams a shot. Nothing is more important than giving your dreams a shot. And I know that that sounds kind of contradictory, because it's like, weren't you in the military? But here's what I learned from that. I got out because I knew that I had to give my dreams a shot. I had to give my dreams a shot. And it's easy to get in this place of like, okay, this is a career. I'm just going to stay here. It's safe. And that's just that. But nothing is more important than taking a chance on yourself. You have to learn how to bet on yourself. You have to learn how to bet on yourself. At some point in time, you got to bet on yourself. And here's why: because you as an individual have to understand that every single job, career, company, organization, they're all fleeting. And the reason why they're all fleeting is because they don't care about you. Big picture, they have a mission. They don't care about you. You are the only person who's going to care about you at the highest level if you care about yourself. I hope you picking up what I'm putting down. I hope that didn't go over your head. You got to care about yourself so that you can care about yourself, because nobody else is going to care about yourself, right? So you got to understand that nothing is more important than you taking a shot on your dreams. So at what point are you going to chase your dreams? At what point are you going to have a dream and be like, you know what? I'm going to take a leap of faith. I don't care what you're doing right now. When are you going to take a leap of faith? And that leap of faith could be going into the military, right? For 4 years, 6 years, and then getting out. But through life, you're going to always be taking different leaps of faith if you have faith. If you want more in your life, you're going to always be taking leaps of faith. And you got to get comfortable with taking leaps of faith in your life, because that's going to get you to a level that you've never thought you would be able to experience. So don't get caught in the fear. Don't get caught in all the self-deprecating behaviors and thought processes. Like, you got to learn how to go after what you want and what you say you want. And if you do that, you are going to experience a life, and you're going to experience things that you never thought you would. Right. So that was a really good lesson for me as well. Another one, always seek the uncomfortable. Always seek the uncomfortable. Right. I've been into like a lot of different types of training: combat, ground and ground combat, hand to hand combat, being in the desert and having to do land navigation, got a compass and you got to find your way back and stuff like that. But the military is going to put you in uncomfortable situations. But those uncomfortable situations are going to teach you so many things: how to be solution oriented, how to think, critical thinking, all these small things, right? Seek the uncomfortable. Whatever it is because if you're in a routine and you're used to doing things one way, your brain gets stuck. Your brain starts to lose its activity, right? It's like the dendrites, they're not firing as much. Like, look this stuff up. Look at brain activity and routines. And what you're going to find is you have to always mix things up. You have to seek uncomfortable things, because that's going to make your brain operate in a different way, right? And another one is learning stimulates the growth, right? So the more that you learn something, the more you're going to be in a position to grow. The more you're going to be able to grow. The more you're going to grow, because you're learning. I'm always trying to learn different things, right? So these are things that I use every single day. Nobody's telling me this stuff. I went through it and I learned it, and now it's just how my mind thinks. Right? Another one, be fearless in whatever you do. I don't care what it is you're doing. Make sure that you are fearless. Please. Make sure you're fearless. Anything that I've ever done, I've always done it fearless and without reservation, because you got to be all in energetically and spiritually to be able to get the outcome that you want. You can't be going into something doubtful. The world is going to test your faith. It's going to test your belief. It's going to try to make you doubt yourself. But if you give in to it, you'll never get what you want. But if you don't give in to it and you reject it, you'll always get what you want. You'll always get what you want, right? So make sure you understand that you have to be fearless. Being fearless will change your life. Only talk to people that are going to push you off the cliff. They're going to push you to be fearless, to do things where you can't see the bottom. Because when you're going through this life and you really want to experience your highest version of yourself, you're going to have to do things where you don't see the ground when you take the next step. And that's okay. That's perfectly fine, because the ground is going to get there. When you take a step, the ground going to be there. The next step you take is going to be there. So when you walk and you know the ground going to be there, so why don't you know that, God got you? Why don't you know that you're not going to make this decision and you're just going to fall on your face and you're going to be homeless? Stop fearing. You got to be fearless, right? So turn that fear off and turn your faith on. The next one that I learned is network and treat people good. because you don't know what the future holds. Networking is important. And when I say networking, I'm not talking about walking around, hey, you want to be my friend? Hey, you want to, no. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about when you come across people and you genuinely connect with them and you fuck with them and y'all have commonalities, take time to pour into that relationship. Invest in the relationship. Invest into the connection, because you're going to look up 10, 12 years later and you're going to have connections with, some very strong, powerful people, because you don't know who people are going to become. You don't know who people are going to become. So if you're walking around here burning bridges all day, in the future, you're never going to have blessings coming your way. If you're not pouring into people in the way that you know how, nobody's going to pour into you, because life is a cause and effect. It's a give and a get. What you put out is what you're going to get back. Understand that, right? So make sure you're networking with people. Like really fuck with people. Connect with people. I'm not saying be a people pleaser. I'm not saying beg people to be your friend. No. All I'm saying is when you come across good people, make sure you invest into that relationship, because your life in the future will be set up. The next one that I have is embrace the bullshit is building character. And anybody that has been in the military, they'll tell you that they know this phrase, embrace the suck. When you embrace the suck and you're not negative about it, you will always be able to learn the lessons that are important to you. And then those lessons that you learn are going to be able to be some of the greatest lessons and blessings of your life, right? So it's like, because if you're always resistant to the things that you're going through, your mind is not going to be able to see the blessings. You got to be able to see past the forest and see what the opportunities are, see what the lessons are, because life is always going to have its challenges. And if anytime a challenge happens, you mad or you mopey about it or whatever, you're not gonna be able to grow past that. You're always gonna be the victim. It's always gonna be woe is you, right? So embrace the suck, embrace the bullshit. It's making you better. It's making you a better person. It's making you a better man. It's making you a better woman. I literally think about this every day. This is how I operate. The next one is take advantage of opportunities to learn new skills. So when I was in the military, there was always certain classes that we can take. And these classes gave us certifications. Now, you never know when you're gonna need the certification. But after you take these certifications, and then let's say an opportunity comes up to, they got a TDY opportunity. TDY is like a temporary deployment. So they have an opportunity to go TDY, and then 4 people volunteer because they may have the rank. But then in order to go on this TDY, you need these 2 different certifications. If you don't have the certifications, now you're not going to get that opportunity. So let's say only one person has all the certifications. That person by default is going to be able to go to that TDY or have that opportunity. And now what inside of that opportunity, what lessons are gonna happen? What are they gonna be able to experience? Right? You want to always be certified within yourself, within your industry. Like, you want to always be getting the certifications that are going to put you in a position to be able to take advantage of opportunities in the future. Don't block your blessings because you're not doing certain work that is available to you inside of an industry, inside of an organization, to be able to position yourself to get there in the future, right? So make sure you take advantage of the opportunities to learn new skill sets and get those certifications. Now, the second to last one, we got 2 more. Live life intensely. I am a very intense person, and people that know me, they know I be intense. But it's because when you put intense energy around something, for me, it's easier to manifest. Some people will tell you to not care, right? When I stopped caring, all my blessings came. I get that. And sometimes you got to know when to turn up the intensity. Sometimes you got to know when to cut everything off. Sometimes you got to know when it's time to just lock in for 2 months and not talk to nobody really except maybe family and just do what you got to do. Sometimes it's like that. But live intensely. Live intensely. When you are pursuing your dreams, when you are trying to become somebody on a higher level, you have to do it with intensity. You have to do it with passion. I live with passion. I live with intensity. Every single day. When I do it, I do it. Because that's the only way I know how to do it. Because if I was on these videos and I was like, hey guys, you should do this, like, that's not gonna be received well. You gotta be intense sometimes. You gotta be passionate. It gotta live inside of you. And if you're not, living with passion, you don't have that passion inside of you, it's impossible for you to be intense. But the intensity will help you, it'll help carry you. Sometimes maybe you may be down on yourself, but if you got that intensity and that passion, that could carry you even when you are down on yourself, and then things just become muscle memory, right? Whether it could be working out at the gym, pursuing whatever. Have passion around what you're doing, and that's going to, elevate your intensity, and that's going to make it easier for you to accomplish certain things. And the last thing I got for you guys is think strategically when you're on a mission. So the military really taught me that when you are on a mission, you got to think strategically. Because the military is all about the mission, right? It's literally, you got the Army, you got the Marines, you got the Navy, you got the Coast Guard, you got the Air Force, right? You got the reserves, you got active duty, you got National Guard. It's all the military. It's strategy. And so when I was able to see this, I was like, it's all about strategy. So I'm always thinking in terms of strategy. Because when you think in terms of strategy, it's not about working hard. It's about leveraging. It's about teams. It's about, putting things together for the good of the mission. Right? And some people will get offended and some people won't. There's casualties of war sometimes, and that's just what it is. But there's always a strategy behind things. Don't do things blindly. Because if you do things blindly, you gonna be a casualty to somebody's whatever, right? You don't want to be that. You want to be in control of your moves. So it's just like chess. It's just like chess. Think 3 to 5 moves ahead. So when you do this, you already know what you're about to do after that. So after I do this, I'm gonna do this, and this gonna happen, and then I'm gonna do this. You setting it up. That's what they mean when they say plan for 5 years in the future, plan for 10 years in the future, not just doing something for today, right? Don't just be trying to make money and that's it. Like, what you want to make the money for? What you gonna do with the bread? When you get your first 10,000, what you gonna do? When you get to 50K, what you gonna do? Like, think strategically about your life, because that's how you're gonna be able to set it up. All right. So that's 14 life-changing lessons that I learned from being in the military. I hope you guys got a lot of good value from that. Drop something in the comments of what you liked best. And always remember, get out of your head and get into the world. And I'm gonna see you guys on the next video. Peace.